Welcome to the Gus Alva Perspective, a video cast that's earmarked to embrace gratitude and abundance over the flip side, which is scarcity and fear. Unfortunately, a particular paradigm that's being pushed on us societally at the present time. We really need to focus on things that matter. And for that, the topic that I'd like to touch on today is being in the moment. In other words, gratitude is a mindset in which we're fostering easily evocative experiences that can only be cemented in place when we're actually in the moment. What exactly does that mean? Well, let me give you some examples. Making an effort at creating memories or not is one of the themes that we sometimes run into. Remember, even small things are useful in trying to lodge a memory in our brain bank. Whenever we attach emotionality to an incident, whether that be positive or negative, those are terms that we call affective valence. And that valence or that thrust sometimes cements in areas like the hippocampus in our brain the opportunity or the ability to recall that material that much easier. So, give you an example. Around the holidays, oftentimes there's a sense of mirth, there's a sense of enjoyment, and there's a sense of, you know, almost this magic in the air. But that can actually be accentuated by some of the work that we put into or don't along the lines of, say, decorating or otherwise. And obviously, everybody follows different types of norms. Everybody has different holidays. For the sake of the conversation that we're having right now, I'm obviously honing in a bit more on the Christian aspect of tracking what Christmas is all about, right? But it doesn't have to be that. It could certainly be, Valentine's Day, a very broad day that Hallmark cards has popularized to make sure that we are obviously acknowledging the people that matter most in our hearts and that we are acknowledging them. Or say Easter, or say, any other holiday in which we want to have a remembrance. The 4th of July, particularly here in the States, obviously in other parts of the world, there are certain days that are more important for people. But the key thing with this is maybe decorative pieces that are placed outside and following particular themes can sometimes be either quite laborious or it can actually be a way of embracing the fact that you want to be in the moment. I recently had the opportunity of being at a gathering, people that had a particular proclivity or enjoyment or affinity for wine. And one of the things that is interesting about wine is that wine is meant to be shared. And one of the topics that was being tossed around the table was that people were giving examples of the things that they were able to recall within the previous year that had actually created a great degree of impact for them. And that meant that they were approaching topics or issues with intention, and they were present in the moment. And they had planned for those particular outings in such a way so that once the event came about, it became a memorable one. And we can all reflect on the fact that as we think of things that have been either very pleasurable for us or, again, scary or maybe frightening, we are able to recall those things a bit more. There's a degree of either movement towards something or inertia or a lack of movement towards that thing, right? And the more intentional we are, well, the more we'll be able to capture certain segments of memories that we create over time. One particularly fond thing that we've done as a family, for example, is creating these banners. And it was sort of a family tradition that we would divide different things that we wanted to draw. And every participant within the family had a particular category or a particular item that they were going to be drawing. And then this banner all of a sudden was made up by these drawings of different individuals within the family. And dependent on that particular occasion, we now had a keepsake, a memory that we were creating, and a particular point in which we were able to recall being together, being in the moment, and being able to enjoy one another's company. Same thing can be stated. We can either live a life in which we are so caught up in the rut of the rat race that we don't make the time to be intentional about thinking, I'd like to visit such a place. I'd like to do such an activity. I'd like to pursue whatever. But the point is, planning is required. You can't just sit back and wait for things to happen. So being in the moment means so many different things. As we take an outing, I was just speaking with a friend. He is right now touring colleges with his kids, and he wants to be in the moment. He's creating memories whereby his children will be able to think back fondly on going out and visiting different places, making the time to, whether it be a trip or some other endeavor that we need to do, and bringing someone else along, whether it be a child or a parent or a friend or a colleague. We are now trying to create and cement a particular memory that will oftentimes carry through our days and now brighten our existence. Gratitude, then, obviously, is one in which we can be proactive and create material. We can pursue an endeavor. We can do a 100-mile race on a bicycle. We can swim a couple of miles out in the ocean. We can, um, have a picnic at a particular place. It doesn't matter what it is, but so long as we are being intentional and we are being in the moment. And that gratitude and that abundance comes about from the fact that we can create this content at any point in time. And rather than having our memories being revived by negative material, they can certainly be being revived by positive material. And that way we can reflect back on the people that we care for, love, and that matter to us in the fondest of fashions. We thank you for being with us on this video cast today in the Gus Alva Perspective. Thank you.